the four publishing houses is quite interesting and really intertwined with German history in general. So they were all founded in, except Henschel, which was founded in Berlin, they were all founded in Leipzig, being back then like the publishing center of Germany and Europe mainly. But then the wars came and then the GDR, so many publishing houses moved from Leipzig away to Western Germany. But they stayed, and Seemann was an important publishing house during the GDR. Henschel was the cultural institution being founded during the GDR time, so any drama text, any music that was written in the GDR would be published by Henschel. After the wall came down, you know, the stories of the publishing house are really quite sad, so nowadays it is small, and it was, I'm not going to tell the whole story of that, but the publishing houses were sort of all over the place, belonging to big companies, and now it is my father and his compagnon bought these four publishing houses, and we're now maybe trying to establish a family tradition, but we will see about that one. But I have now started working there too. So I'm in charge of the program for Koehler and Amelang, and also for digital projects, because in small publishing houses, everybody kind of has to do a lot of things. So, except for the production department, which I would not like to do, I don't really like the stress in the end of the production of books. One might put me in other places, and I could sort of get through the day and the week, but I really like the editing stuff. So I'm going to tell you about a book that was not done by me. It was because I've only been here for a year now. But this is a really nice and good biography. It's of Joachim Gauck, and actually the story behind this book is that we published, or my colleagues published the book in 2003 for the first time, because he was a fascinating character, and he had just finished working at the Stasi, you know, the state security ministry, where they collected all the records and would make historical studies of it. So he was the head of that, and he was just finished at this position. And my colleagues thought, well, he's fascinating, let's do a book with him. He's a great character, he's got a long history in GDR, he was part of the church resistance. So they did a book with him, a biography, and it failed. Nobody really wanted to buy it. But then in 2012, he became the president of the Federal Republic of Germany. So we had this book, and quite in a short time, the author got back to work, interviewed him again, did more research of the last 8 years that weren't there, that weren't in the book still. And when he actually stepped into office, Koehler and Amelang was the first one to have a biography on him on the market. So we're still proud of that, and it hit the best-selling lists, and it was a success then. So thank God that he became the president. And now, actually, because I have just stepped in, I've been thinking about what I want to do for the last year, and we're relaunching our Koehler and Amelang program in spring 2016, so in a year. So until now we've been doing cultural history, lots of classical history, like books on Nefertiti and books on the pyramids, books on Troy and these kind of fields, and also many catalogs with museums. That's kind of an important branch that we hold in this publishing house. So with next year, I would like to transform the topics rather into contemporary political sphere, and do books on the crossroad of society, economy, and politics, but not thinking them in a traditional political institutional way, like party politics or maybe biographies on politicians, but really taking topics and trying to tell them in a way that make us understand the world that we live in. So I think when I met Martin at the Frankfurt Book Fair, that this was really what I'm interested in the Dutch literature, and that's also great. But we heard just during our lunch break the storytelling. I really think I also always thought that Dutch storytelling is great. So that's what I've been kind of thinking, it's kind of an academic chart, I'm sorry, like a table. But I'm thinking of three sort of spaces on my list, on the list that we will have every spring and every fall, and I would like the hardcover segment to be really intense in storytelling, but being kind of descriptive. So having lots of examples and strong characters, and trying to really find a hinge to tell a story. So just to give you an example, there are journalists in Germany who put a GPS device on an old television, and then they threw it on a dump. And then the television traveled all through Europe and down to South Africa or Namibia. And there it was gutted, and then the parts went all over the place. But they took the story of this television to really tell the story of what is worth in one country and what is nothing worth in another, and how do economic connections actually influence the world that we live in. So that's what I think is fascinating. That shall be one segment. So these are the books that I'm looking for. Also the catalog. So this is maybe not that interesting, but that's such an important branch for our publishing. I've been trying to get in touch with museums people and really do workshops on storytelling, because they are academics and they have their exhibition in mind, but I want to have a great book. So I don't just want the subsidies in order to do just one book, but I really think they have great topics. So this is all about how can we tell a story with pictures and then the captions on the one side, and then maybe a third level of narration with the text that flies, that is the second level. So because people flip through and they see the pictures and then they read the captions. So let's start with the captions and the pictures and then write the text behind it. That's what I'm trying to do with them. And then we have the argument as the last way of storytelling. So this is going to be edition 1789, because actually Koehler and Amelang was founded in the year of the French Revolution. So this is what I like about the foundation data for our publishing house. So this is going to be a small series, like short, softcover, philosophical Debattenbuch is what we call that in German. Interventions, that's the word, yeah. So, and it will be edited by two philosophers in Germany who work lots with the Slovenian school that does lots of psychoanalysis combined with contemporary analysis. So, important names there are Slavoj Žižek and the likes. So Lambert Yu is one important guy there, but it's going to be short texts that really try to take a stand and analyze the world we live in. So since I'm quite young in the business, this is sort of what we're trying to do, and these are the books that we're looking for. So it's mainly the first segment that I'm thinking of myself as a sponge here. So the first segment, I really want to find lots of stuff here and see. So, well, thank you. I hope to, and thank you so much for having me, really. So, yeah.